You're now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome in to episode 105 of the Palmetto Dugout Show, best podcast in the state, the only one that's once a week. Anyway, SO, Coach Smith, both Coach Smith, Coach Austin, Coach Sean. What's going on, boys?
Coach, it sounded like with their music in the background to get ready for a little Clemson baseball coming up.
I just had to provide the people what they need, Coach.
We like the party, you know?
We're going to have quite the party today.
It's no longer about giving the people what they want. We're giving them what they need, whether they know they need it or not. They don't know they need it, but they need it.
They need it.
They always need this. We do have a special little thing for episode 105. We're going to continue. We told you on episode 104, if you check that out, we're going to continue with the college coach segment. We're going to bring him on here. We got Coach Burke at Lander. Coach, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. Excited to join you guys tonight, and I appreciate the hype music in the waiting room.
One thing Coach Bird didn't realize how much smarter he just got by joining us on this show right now. So he just instantly leveled up a lot more right there.
I need all the help I can get.
A little technical difficulties here. That's due to the delay there. But hey, we're ready to roll now. Coach, it's great. I told Sammy this before we got on here. I don't know if you remember this. It had to be, my gosh, it's about 6 years ago. You were the Y, the baseball fields at the Y in Anderson. I was umpiring, and you were coaching your son in coach pitch a while ago. How old is your son now?
He is 14. He's a ninth grader at T.L. Hanna this year.
Yep, that makes me feel old now, too. I'm starting to feel like Austin now.
Yeah. Oh, hey, man, it goes by quick. I got a lot of gray in the beard.
Who let you umpire coach's pitch? That's the real question.
I wasn't umpiring coach's pitch, but I'm a better umpire than you, Austin.
Well, you said you were umpiring coach's pitch.
Yeah.
No, I said I might have umpired a few games, but I didn't have Coach Bird.
What did you just say?
You now just got us all confused.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Coach Burke at the field because I was walking by to go umpire some 12U games, Coach.
Oh, he was scouting. He was scouting the coach's pitch game.
He was scouting.
Yeah.
I was scouting for Sammy. We had to scout those rising stars early.
Oh gosh!
You gotta get him early. You gotta get him again. I told you, Coach Burke, you get yourself a lot smarter hopping on this.
Yeah, hey, I need all the help I can get. Like I said.
Yeah. That's why they sent Cat Meddy over to tournaments. He had you over there scouting coach's pitch game.
Cat Meddy was steering the ship. He had to get in the right direction going on.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
Cat Meddy requested a check for Drew scouting 2 coaches' pitch games, and they said, yeah, you might want to go over to tournaments, bud.
Drew over there trying to double dip. He's over there writing up a scout blog while he's calling balls and strikes.
That a grown man's throwing. 8-year-old.
We had to talk about the arm.
Hey, the easiest way to get the yips is become a coach's pitch coach. I'll tell you that, because you're trying to hit some bats, man, and sometimes it just doesn't work.
No question. You got to lob that thing in there at the right speed. You got to get the right level. It's kudos to those guys that can do it.
Amen.
Yeah, Coach. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get back. Austin will have his moment here in a minute again. We'll get back on here, Coach. Let's start off. We'll kind of bounce around here. Let's talk about the Bearcats a little bit. One of the top premier programs in Division II baseball. What's it like being a Bearcat?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a unique place, and I think everywhere is. I mean, I was at Gardner-Webb and Walford before this, and they had their unique things about it. And, for me, one of the things that makes Lander, so special is it's a state school and it's affordable. I think it makes it to where we can be in the conversation on some kids that maybe we shouldn't have a shot at. The next thing that I think makes it very unique is the facilities. To me, we have maybe the best Division II stadium in the country. We just renovated our locker room. It's literally finishing up this week, maybe next week, depending on when the furniture comes in. We got a state-of-the-art weight room, and all that stuff. On a recruiting visit looks good. The thing that I tell the players all the time is that stuff will wear off really, really quick if you don't enjoy who you're playing, if you don't enjoy who you're around. And I'm extremely picky about who I let in that locker room, who I let on that field. To me, all you guys know the game. You've been around it. You've coached it. If your environment's not right, then you're not going to max out. And, I'm very, very picky on who comes in that environment from a coaching standpoint, from a player standpoint. And that really, honestly, I think is what separates us is, the environment. I think our guys feel challenged. I think they feel like we're going to practice them hard, but I also think they feel like we love them and care about them. And, I think that's why, we were able to put together a really good year last year and didn't lose any of our best players to the portal. They had plenty of opportunities to leave and go to other places, and they all came back. And, I think that says something about our environment here because, again, you can have all those nice things like I think we do have, but if your environment's not good, it doesn't matter.
No doubt. And Coach, I kind of want to touch on that a little bit why you hit that. And you've been – you touched on a little bit. You've been assistant coach. You've coached at the Division I level, and now being the head coach of Division II. And now there's this change that's going on across all of college athletics. In the recruiting world, that's going on. How and we've had an opportunity to talk to some Division I coaches and how this has affected them. We've talked to some coaches at the so-called Power 4 level, and then the mid-major, whatever you want to call these things. How has these rules affected you guys? How has that gone down? Has that changed how you guys are recruiting the high school player, or are you guys still staying status quo, or is that kind of opened up a whole new can of worms out there for y'all? In general?
I mean, Sammy, fantastic question, man. I mean, you know how much it's changed and changing. This year it affected us drastically in the way we recruited simply because we were able to get, a lot of those grad transfers that could only go Division II or below. We ended up landing 6 of those guys, and, it completely changes your roster. You get 2 of them from USC Upstate, one of them from an NAIA school up in Michigan, one from Bethune-Cookman, one from Barry. I'm leaving one out. But anyway, we just loaded up on those guys, and, it changed everything. We've got a freshman class right now that I really like, but, we have a freshman first baseman who I think is very, very talented. And he's a really big, strong kid. But now he's behind a 23-year-old that hit 15 home runs at USC Upstate last year. And, that changed in an instant. It changed literally, I think it's like August 12th or something when the kid committed. So it's a weird time in college athletics because of all the rule changing, because of all the eligibility stuff that really nobody knows exactly what's going on. The players, coaches, D1, D2, it doesn't matter. Nobody knows exactly what's happening with all these things. But the one thing that I've told my coaching staff is we're going to stay very high school heavy. And if you look at our class coming in this next year, it's extremely high school heavy. And the reason I wanted to stay high school heavy is I feel like some of these high school kids that we normally wouldn't have a shot at, we're getting because the new rules have made it to where a lot of people aren't signing very many high school guys. Honestly, coming out of this next year, I don't know exactly how it's going to affect us simply because they don't still know exactly what's going to happen with the Diego Pava rule that's going down right now. That hasn't been decided at the Division II level. And, I've got kids on my roster that I think it's like 8 kids that would give them another year. And then it would be, do you want to come back to Lander and do that year? Or do you want to try to grad transfer, to somewhere else? And then can you, the USC Upstate transfer I mentioned, he had to go Division II. Both of them did that we got from there. And both those kids played junior college, and this is their last year of eligibility. So both of them would get another year. Well, the NCAA made them go down Division II or below. Are they going to let them take this extra year back at the Division I, or are they going to make them stay devout? Nobody knows. So for me, it's just putting together the best roster that you can put together, being open and honest with our kids, telling them exactly what's going on. And sometimes that's not what they want to hear, but I think if you're just open and honest and truthful with them, then they can make the best decisions for themselves, just like we make the best decisions for the program. But again, I alluded to it before, and I'll say it again. I'm not sacrificing the environment to get a player in here. I think that is a rabbit hole that almost all of us have went down at some point at the college level, chasing talent over character. And then you get somebody in that locker room, and all of a sudden you're not winning because your locker room culture stinks.
Coach, along with that, talking about high school recruiting specifically in South Carolina, we kind of feel like there's maybe some players are a little more overlooked at times, just because it's from a little bit of a smaller state with a lower population and things like that. Just feels like some guys maybe aren't getting the looks that they would normally get. Speak to the talent in South Carolina.
I think the talent in South Carolina is great. You look at our roster, it's probably 65% South Carolina. And for us, again, the big selling point for us is cost. Cost, nice facilities, and then the environment. And speaking of the cost, we get a kid from South Carolina, we can stack aid. Some people can't. We can stack your life scholarship, Lander academic money, and baseball money, and all of a sudden we've got you on a really good package to a school that's not very expensive. And that's honestly how we get in the mix with most of these kids. But I think the talent in South Carolina is very good. Again, you look at our roster, look at who we're playing, and, we had 3 all-conference players last year off the top of my head that are all South Carolina kids: Connor Droz, Anson Merrick, and Tyler Overholt. And 2 of the 3 of those were homegrown. They came to us as freshmen and are now seniors. Overholt came to us as a redshirt freshman from College of Charleston. So he's kind of homegrown as well. But we do really well in the state. And again, I think it's a combination of those things. They know they're going to get a good experience. They know they're going to enjoy what they're doing. They're going to be challenged, but they're going to have nice facilities and an affordable school price point to get them here. But to answer your question, again, I think I've said it 2 or 3 times. I think the talent in South Carolina is very good.
Coach Smith. Coach Smith, you got anything here? You look like you lost down there.
Yeah.
No, I was scrolling through the roster. But no, his correct. I don't have the capabilities mathematically to do the percentage in my head, but I'm scrolling down that list right there, and there's and I keep seeing Hannah's and West Sides and a lot of South Carolina guys right there, just and names too that we've seen a lot of. So he's definitely right. They're not afraid to pull a high school kid out of South Carolina.
Yeah, and two of the 3 of our weekend starters last year, and our closer, Overholt was our closer, Anson Merrick from Chapin, and Ethan Califf from Wade Hampton and Greenville. Those were 3 of our really, really big, good arms, and that threw a ton of innings for us. And I could obviously name more South Carolina kids, but those are 3 kids that we're not the same team if you take away one of them, much less all 3 of them. I thought Ethan Califf should have won Freshman of the Year in our league just for pitching on the weekends and throwing 70 innings at a 3.2 ERA. He didn't have the wins that some of the other guys had, but they gave it to a position player in our league, and the position player was very good. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I think it's really hard in the Peach Belt to go out there and trot your butt out there every single weekend. And shoot, man, he was the one who clinched the regular season championship for us. That's how much we trusted him as a true freshman. And I thought what he did was very, very impressive.
He's one of those guys I saw early in that spring year, and he tore it up, and that was a big get for you guys. He flew under the radar for a long time.
Yep, he's a great example of what Sean was talking about. There's some guys that fly under the radar, and he honestly wanted to go to some mid-major Division I's. He and I had a lot of conversations, and I had a little bit of a cheat code with him. He had coached my son when my son was like 11 and 12U on travel ball. So I had known him for a long time. I just kept telling him, yeah, it's great recruiting.
He was umpiring that game.
Yeah. Who was doing the scout blog on the coach's pitch guy there too?
Yeah. I just kept telling Ethan, hey man, if you don't get what you want, dude, like I would love to have you here. And when the time became right, his late summer of his going into his senior year, we offered him a pretty good scholarship. And, I just told him, I said, hey man, like whatever schools you're still interested in, go to their camp, like force them to see you. And once you force those 1 to 2 to 3, whatever schools it is, Ethan, and they don't say yes, if this is what you want to do past that, then we just need to go ahead and do it before I start getting all my scholarship money tied up. And to give Ethan a ton of credit, that's exactly what he did. He went, got in front of those schools. They didn't tell him yes, but they didn't tell him no. And some of them probably wish they did at this point. but anyway, we got a great player and a good kid, and our guys love him. And it's like I told him after we won the regular season title, the game he started, I said, man, there wasn't one dude in this whole entire dugout or field that didn't want you to have that ball. And it had nothing to do with your talent, man. It had to do every time that we challenged you during the fall in the weight room, in the Bearcat challenges, in practice, you never backed down. It didn't mean that you were good at it. You just never backed down from it. You were never scared of it. You were never like, man, I can't do this. Woe is me. You just, whatever we were doing, you did it as absolutely hard as you could do for as long as you could do it. And your teammates respected you for it.
Yeah, no doubt. My last question before I pass it off to Sammy here. Coach, we know you guys from a recruiting standpoint can't be everywhere throughout the year at the same time. Talk about the kind of importance of our kind of events, the website, the kind of things that you see from your standpoint.
Yeah, you guys are crucial to what we do. We can only be out so much. And one thing I think that high school players / parents don't really truly understand is, we've got a 50-game schedule. Division I's got a 56-game schedule laid on top of what the high schoolers are doing. So it's not like we're playing at a different time of year, and they understand that part of it. But I don't think they understand that, we're playing every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're playing almost every single Tuesday. So like the only days that we have off are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, almost every single week. Well, those 3 off days, one of them is going to be a true, and Sammy knows what I'm talking about, a true off day. Okay, you're not really off ever. And the other 2 days are going to be a practice day. So like I think what a lot of high school parents and players don't understand is, man, I can't give up one of the 2 practice days that I get with my team. It's like last year, we're on a run trying to win our regular season title. And, I just keep telling my coaches, hey, I really want you guys to be at these games, but we got to freaking win. Like, yo, man, we're 2 wins away, 1 win away, whatever, from clinching a freaking title and getting a ring. Like, I need you here, man. I need you invested in what we're doing as opposed to invested in the future. So to answer your question, Drew, you guys are vital. Man, you guys pump out so much great information and go to so many games that we can't be at or that we could be at, but we'd be sacrificing the development of our team, the relationship with our guys. And I'm not willing to do that. So I rely on you guys' information a ton. Shoot, Drew, I see you at a decent bit of games, and I'm always asking you, man, like, who's the best players? Like, who are you seeing? Who do I need to see? And you're always great, man. You always tell me exactly what I need to know. And then I check up on them, and boom, they're good players. And, I think for you guys, understanding how vital you are at not just this level, but the Division I level, JUCO, D3, NAI, I think is a big time thing, man. It probably makes you want to do it more because people are actually paying attention to it.
Yeah, I had this conversation with somebody earlier today where we had the same talk, right, about the, college coaches going out in the spring. How much can they go out? Right? High school baseball across most of the time is played. They play a game when you guys are playing a game. So there are some schools that do sacrifice their own game to go watch players, and it is what it is. Everybody runs their program differently, but and some people put an emphasis on being there with their guys. Other people go, this one guy's going to be the road warrior and go find guys. It is what it is, goes across. So it's always good. But my one kind of last question, I guess more so, not as much a question, but more of a let you kind of talk about it. We know about it. Austin's lived it, but Division II baseball, right? You can reach your hopes and dreams as a baseball player. But we also know growing up, everybody chases a lot of the times, right, the logos. Everybody grows up in this state, let's be honest, most people either grow up being a Gamecock or a Tiger fan. It is what it is. Let's call it what it is. I grew up in North Carolina. You were either a Wolfpacker or a Tar Heel. It's kind of what it was. That's what you wanted to do. And that's how it goes. But at the end of the day, you want to go to where you have an opportunity to go get yourself developed, play, win, get yourself to the next level if those are your goals. And that can all be reached at a program like yours. But I want to let you throw out there your sales pitch of what, Lander, what Division II baseball can do for these players in the great state of South Carolina. Because I do think it gets overlooked sometimes, because I think the average player goes, and we've heard it forever, right? It's been going forever. D1 or bust, D1 or bust, D1 or bust. But you could sit there and go, this big leaguer was a Division II guy. This big leaguer played Division II. Hell, this guy was a Division III guy. This guy was NAIA. Whatever it is, junior college, Division II. But I just kind of want to let you kind of throw out your pitch of how, impressive the baseball is at your level. Those high school players go watch a game at your level and go, man, these guys are good, man.
Yeah. And honestly, Sammy, I think one of the last things you said to me is the biggest one. They've never seen us play. You grow up in the state and you're either a Tiger or a Gamecock, and, maybe you mix in a few Cougars, maybe you mix in some Chanticleers, right? But that's, for the most part, that's who everybody gravitates towards. And, they're going to go watch a Clemson game. They're going to see it on TV. They're going to see it on ESPN Plus. Same thing with a Carolina game. Then when you go to a College of Charleston or a Coastal Carolina or a Wofford, they may go to one of those games. They're probably going to watch them play a bigger school, but they may go to one of those games. They don't go to our game. Unless they're actively getting recruited by us, they just don't see a Division II baseball game. So, they don't understand the depth. They don't understand that there's good players everywhere. I joke around all the time on kids' visits. Coach Moore, my pitching coach, pitched for me here at Lander. It was an 18th round draft pick, pitched up to AA with the Cubs, then got traded signed with the Rockies after he was done with the Cubs. And I joke with him all the time on the visit. I'm like, hey, ask me if you can get drafted out of here. And they'll ask the question, obviously. And I'm like, well, you just talked to an 18th rounder. He's the one who just showed you around campus. He was in that same math class he showed you. And I'm joking with them, but I'm trying to give them the reality of, man, you can get what you want here. Scouts do come out here. There are really, really good players here. And I think the reason it's so D1 or bust is two things you said. Really, Sammy, it's logo chasing. And which is awesome, man. I mean, if you'd have told me Clemson or Carolina would have offered me out of high school, I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina, I would have been all about it, right? Which is awesome to logo chase. I'm not downplaying that at all. And then they just don't know the level. So many times, Sammy, we have kids come in here from high schools that doesn't have to be from South Carolina, and they think it's D2 baseball. They're going to come here and be the starting shortstop. And you're like, bro, you ain't even an infielder anymore. Like your feet and hands aren't even – you're not even the third string dude, and it's funny to me how sometimes they just think that it's this extension of high school or whatever. But I would challenge everyone that's listening to this podcast. You've probably been to a Clemson game. You've probably been to a Carolina game. You maybe have been to a College of Charleston, Wofford, Coastal Carolina game. Go to some of these smaller schools and see what they got. Sit beside the pitcher that's on the radar gun behind the backstop and see how hard these dudes are throwing. Because most of the small schools are still going to have that dude out there tracking velos instead of having TrackMan and, all this other stuff. You can literally watch it. Go to an inter squad. See what their 8th, 9th, 10th best pitcher looks like. Can you realistically throw like him? And I think the answer for 97% of them is going to be no. No, I can't. I can't throw like him. And that's the harsh reality of it. And, for us, I'm a pitching guy. Coach Moore's a pitching guy. Coach Pop and Coach Buckley do a fantastic job with our position players here. And, we sell development, but I think everybody sells development, right? I think everybody to a certain extent sells that they can make you better. The biggest thing for me with guys is I can't make you better. Coach Moore can't make you better. You can make you better. and I can give you all the keys to how to throw hard and how to have more mobility and get in these positions that produce velocity. But the bottom line is you have to do the work to get to it. So like, it doesn't matter how much I know if you're not going to work, and it doesn't matter how much you're going to work if you don't fit in. And, I just tell the guys on recruiting visits, I'm probably brutally honest with them about what we do and how we do it, because I want them to come in day one and I want them to be a part of it. I want them to come in day one and be like, yeah, this is freaking awesome. There's 13 different pitching coaches down in that bullpen because Burke and Amor have taught them everything that they know. And now all of a sudden there's 13 coaches instead of 2. Our base running system's not crazy elaborate, but we still a lot of bases. And, if you look at our stats, I think we've led the Peach Belt the last 3 years in stolen bases. It's not crazy elaborate, but I want all the seniors and juniors to be like, hey, dude, this is what you do. I'll walk them around the bases and tell them how we do it. I'll stand there during base running and coach them up. But ultimately, I want 10 to 15 coaches, not just 2. And I want guys that want to be a part of that. And sometimes that probably scares some players away. But that's cool. I think they're probably better off somewhere else, and I'm probably better off with a different guy.
Yeah, you hit it earlier. You want the right character guy. You want your right.
Amen.
You want your right guy. You want the guy that's going to fit your program, just like the player wants the place that's going to fit them the best, right? I mean,
yes.
I remember saying it forever. You want to base a place that we're, say baseball or say school or whatever it was, then go. If I'm in the right spot and the right fit, it's all going to work itself out.
Yeah,
when it's all said and done, and it takes care of itself in that situation.
Yeah, and one of the things that I sell here that's easy to look and see that we do is we're aggressive in everything. So like, if you like an aggressive personality, an aggressive play style, an aggressive weight room style, an aggressive pitching training style, aggressive on the bases, aggressive at the plate, like you're going to love us. But if you don't like those things, you're probably going to hate us, because we're constantly trying to push the gas at practice to make practice insanely fast. That way the other team feels sped up. I want the game to feel slow for us and the other team to feel like they just had a full-on blitz at them. And the only way to do that is to practice at breakneck speed. And that's what we try to do.
Coach Austin, do you have any questions? You always come up with something weird, so I'm giving you the platform to do it now.
No, I didn't give him the heads up ahead of time of what I wanted to have. I like to have a random question. I think you covered it though when you umpired his son playing the coaches.
Oh God.
I will say though, I haven't been outside of the Southeast and seen what anybody has Division II wise, stadium wise, but I can vouch for you that from Tennessee down, Landers Stadium is second to nobody. So at a Division II level for sure, and would challenge a lot of Division I schools as well with that stadium. My freshman year, 2013, 14, we walked in there and I saw that place and I was like, this is not a Division II school. We're showing up to play on a Wednesday night, and y'all had an infielder hit a ball. I think it's still going somewhere. A kid ended up getting drafted by the Pirates. But yeah, my first run I ever gave up in my second career appearance came at Lander, and I got my feelings hurt down there, and I told myself I'd never go back. But I might make a trip down there for that. But yeah, it was. I have a bad.
We'd love to have you, man. We'll be a lot better hosts this time. Okay.
That was nice. Yeah, it was the first batter I faced in the 8th inning of a game, and I got behind him 3-0, and I thought I was still in high school, and kids don't swing when it's 3-0, and he had like 16 home runs already on the year, and he decided 3-0 against me was a good time to swing. So
yeah, that was either Eric Lundy or Patrick Grady.
It was
both are Hall of Famers. It was one of the two.
It was Eric. I looked him up, and he was an 18th round pick by the Pirates that year.
He was a good time. He was very good,
and he is an awesome alumni, man.
It's been a few years since I've been there. Y'all still have the trees up on the hill in right field? Are they still there?
We do. So then right field, you've got the fence, which is kind of weird. It's got a concrete, then it's got the padding, then it's got the chain link, and then over top of that, there's a road and then a huge net protecting the highway, and all those trees are right behind the net.
So when he hit the ball and it went over the trees back there, and it was honestly, when he hit it, I was like, wow, this is. I got a ball back from the umpire, and I turned around. My second baseman was laughing at me. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And, Coach Miller, who I played for, who coached at Anderson, I think from when they started the school till recently, we got in the van and we took the vans to go eat at Zaxby's in Greenwood after the game, and he wasn't one to usually joke around after we lost, and we lost obviously, but he never joked around after we lost. He got out of the parking lot at Zaxby's, he got out of the van, and he said, "Well, there's that ball rolling by that kid just he informed me it was one of the longest ones he'd ever seen hit, and I think he's seen a bunch. So it was good, but yeah, no. On a serious note, I would recommend especially any high school kid, like you said, who thinks. I don't want to say that we have high school kids in the state that think that Division II is beneath them or anything, but go out and watch, because I guarantee that y'all are 10 deep on arms that some of these kids don't believe are at a Division II level. And with the rule changes like y'all talked about earlier, it's just going to keep getting better. You said you got transfer from USC Upstate. I looked him up. He hit 29 home runs the last 2 years. So, I mean, it's not going to get any worse. So,
well, and he wasn't at y'all's place, but the popular kid who transferred from a Division II level to the Division I was the kid at Wake Forest last year. Right, Seaver King, and Seaver King, Wake Forest. Well, where was he developed? You know what I mean? Like and no knock on what Wake Forest did, but he was the superstar going in there, and he was the no-brainer draft guy if he could have been drafted a year earlier with that one in that spot. And Seaver King goes out of Wingate or whatever, and goes up there and plays. Does the Cape Cod, tears it up. He tears it up at Wingate and goes to Wake Forest. And it continues on. So that's just a small example of. That's just he's a guy floating around in Division II baseball that you guys are trying to compete against to get to where y'all ultimately want to be at. And that's y'all's College World Series up there in Cary. So it's there's dudes left and right floating around in that level, which makes it fun. It makes it fun, and we've talked about this before, and me and Drew probably joke about it more than Austin and Sean do, but we call ourselves little old South Carolina in about everything we do. But obviously, the high level Division I baseball in the state gets a big pub, but then you look at what you guys in the other Division II schools have done, right? We got a national championship one, North Greenville here, but also the Division II teams or the junior college teams.
Yep.
Right. And then one of those powerhouse at division or junior college has just gone to NAIA, which will continue to be a powerhouse there. Like the depth across all levels of baseball in our state. And it's not as deep as Texas or California or Florida, just because we don't have the sheer numbers, but from what we produce all across the board here in the state is second to none. So I think we have an opportunity for our players in this state, however these crazy-ass rules are going from here on out. Nobody's going to know, but it's just going to make, like Austin said, it's going to make it better because that kid who is maybe going to go to, I don't know, I'm going to make up a school, College of Charleston, maybe now ends up at Lander, right? Or maybe that kid who was going to be at Lander now winds up at wherever, at Spartanburg Methodist now because they're not, whatever it is. Like it's how it goes, and everybody gets better for it. And I think it's crazy, and nobody knows where it's going because nobody has ultimately come out with any rules, And you guys, I feel bad for you guys because y'all are just winging it. But it's at the end of the day, y'all put out some great products and great players, and we're just here to sit back and watch you guys go at it.
Coach, my last question here. This one's not on the baseball. Well, it kind of is. For all these high school boys out here, is Lander still predominantly girl school?
It is. So Lander started off as an all-girls school and then transitioned into co-ed. But it's still, I think it's 66, 67% female. Still very, very high female and very, very high in state. Really the only out-of-state people that come to Lander are athletes. And it's the biggest Division II school in the state. I didn't know that until this year. I actually asked one of our vice presidents who the biggest Division II school in the state. My son actually asked that. And I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure it's us. And then I asked one of our vice presidents, and he said, yeah, we're the biggest Division II school in the state. And we're one of only, I forget how many it was, like 2 or 3 Division II schools that have grown every year in the past 5 years.
Some high-level baseball, a lot of girls.
I got another question, but Drew,
here we go.
Drew likes to talk about girls. I like to talk about food. What if we're in Greenwood? If we are in Greenwood for an event, for a tournament, for a Lander Bearcat game, where are we going to eat afterwards?
Oh, if it's open, they have some weird hours. 100%, you're going to Kickers.
Kickers.
Yep. Kickers is the place to go. It's in, they call it Uptown, but downtown, whatever you want to call it. But it's in Uptown. It's a little like kind of hole in the wall, like diners, drive-ins, and dives type place. The guy who is the chef there played soccer at Lander. That's why it's called Kickers. And his name's Abdel, and he is from Zimbabwe. And the food there is insane, man. It is, anything from burgers to loaded potatoes to chicken sandwiches to crazy salads to soups, Cuban sandwiches. You're never going to go to Kickers and not get something really good. It's so good that I get it for Pro Scout Day every year. And every year when I send out the email with like, hey, this is what we're doing, this itinerary, these are the guys I think you should look at or focus in on. Every year I get back at least 3 or 4 emails from Pro Scouts asking if I'm bringing Kickers. Are you serving Kickers again? I get that all the time.
Coaches, we're not getting Kickers. We're not coming.
They may not come if I stop serving it.
Yeah. As he started the concession stand report a couple years ago on this thing, following high school games, he's got to keep the tradition rolling.
I love it. We got a good concession stand too, man. We're one of the very few colleges that serve alcohol because our field is technically off campus. So we got a good concession stand, stocked full of beer. We even got our own beer. We got the Bearcat Brew. It's an IPA. So it's literally got Bearcat like all over the can. So if you come
might
to a
have
game,
to have a PBR. Might have to have a PBR G2 coverage tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Coach Smith, we might have to hit Kickers and go get a Bearcat Brew.
Bearcat Brew and live broadcast some D2 baseball. I'm in. You can mic me up in the dugout.
Can we get it? Can we get an in-game interview in the dugout?
You can mic me up in the dugout. I'm in. I'm good to go.
We're not going to ask you to drink a beer with us during the game. That's got to be some kind of compliance violation.
That would be pretty epic though if it happened. Shoot, I'll do an interview while coaching third base. All right.
As long as Austin can call one pitch and try to strike out the guy that has the most home runs.
Yeah,
so he can walk out of there with his head held up a little bit high.
Yeah, we're in.
We're doing it.
I got to redeem myself. I've never walked out of Lander baseball stadium. I don't think I've ever walked out of a baseball stadium in Greenwood, period, with a good feeling in my mouth. So,
oh man!
My last year coaching Legion, we got beat at the old Lander field by Greenwood in the playoffs and got knocked out. So I don't know, man. I just I got stuck in the school bus in Greenwood High School parking lot one day. Greenwood's never been good to me at all. So that's why I really wanted to. I really
love the old field too, man.
That's
where I played.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back now. I don't know when y'all open or who you open with, but I might come down there.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. We open up with Erskine.
Perfect. We got the Battle of Greenwood.
We do the rivalry game 1 through 3 right off the bat.
Right. Love it.
Well, Coach, we definitely appreciate you hopping on with us tonight. It's been neat for us to kind of branch this out and kind of bring in some different coaches. So we're excited to have you talk about some Bearcat baseball, some Division II baseball, and kind of let the players and let the people know what all's out there. So we appreciate you hopping on and joining us tonight.
Absolutely. I enjoyed it. Would love to do it again sometime. And again, really appreciate what all you guys do to help us out. And, it's definitely a huge help in identification and making sure we're at the right fields, because obviously there's only so many days that we can be there.
Coach, we appreciate it. Can't wait to see you. Maybe I'll see you this high school season. If not, we'll see you at Bearcat Field, hopefully with a Bearcat brew in my hand.
Absolutely. Can't wait for both of those. All right.
If you win the Peach Belt, we'll have you back on the podcast with your Peach Belt championship trophy and a Bearcat brew. And
hey, I'll do both of them. I'll have the trophy here, Bearcat brew here, and we'll have at it.
Yeah, but we'll even get us a T-shirt that says Peach Belt Champs.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
All right,
Coach. Well, good luck this spring.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you.
I got to fix the screen bag. We got to get to our 4-man. Look at these college shirts, Coach. I think we might have one more in store.
Coach, we're working on one more right now. The message has been sent. We're working on one more. I know we can get one other one for sure. So we're silently working on another one.
Another big one. We're covering all levels here. But let's get back to the basics here.
We're not talking about football this week, so
yeah, we are. We'll get to that at the end. We have upcoming events, Coach Espo. We got one coming up in what were we at 11 days, right?
Coach, it's coming up quick. A couple of you guys ain't gonna be around for it. I don't even know. Sean, you ain't gonna be there, are you? Oh, Sean's gonna. Are you coming to that one?
Yeah.
Couldn't remember. Yeah, you'll be. Yeah, we're here for preseason ID here in Columbia, along with a Rising Stars event. So we're excited to be here at Carolina Playmakers here in Columbia. Home game for me and Sean. So we got a good looking roster at a great facility here on the 18th. Kind of still working out, ironing out some details of the timing and all that, but beautiful. I think it's like a 17,000 square foot facility here in downtown Columbia. We'll be able to take care of everything and get all we need on that one. And then the following weekend, right, we roll into our preseason all-state events. The 25th, we'll be barreling down 26 to get down to Mount Pleasant for the Shipyard. A beautiful wind whipping off the Wando River down there for the Shipyard with a tremendous roster for that one. And then the following day, rolling up into the Hit Mill up in Rock Hill for our second preseason All-State North on that one. Kind of want to touch base on this one. And Austin, me and you were talking about this yesterday a little bit, right? I do think a little bit we've had some people get scared off by indoor events in South Carolina, right? And I get it. We live in a state that is that allows us to get outside a lot. Now, a couple of you guys are going to get snowed in this weekend, it looks like. Drew and Austin, me and Sean living down here in God
Country. Are going to have a party. We like to
party. Going to be that Temu snow plow just came up again. But all right, we've booked these indoor facilities that allow us to do everything above and beyond, right? We're the Hit Mill up there in Rock Hill is a tremendous facility. We can move the nets, move everything around, and be able to do everything we need to do with multiple bullpens, multiple cages, open it up and have the ball flight and do it all. So when we run these at an indoor facility, there's not a ton of them in the state that we can do them at, right? It's just the state is what it is when it comes down to them because we're such a warm weather state. But when we do them at these indoor facilities, it allows us to take care of everything that we run at an event, right? We have enough room to where we can run, right? We're not shortchanging guys on running, right? We have enough things where we can get all the infield and outfield and catching defense in. We have enough room for bullpens. We have enough room for hitting. And more importantly, we can be comfortable, right? I think the last 2 years, our preseason All-State North has been in like the 30s, right? And with the high school season getting ready to crank up the following week with tryouts, we want to make sure guys are in a good, comfortable environment. You know what? You never know. It could be 65 degrees out that day, but that's just the chance you take. But we know we're going to be in a controlled environment with, it's like being in a dome in a football. Or in a baseball field. It's always 75 degrees and comfortable, right? You don't have to worry about the elements of being outside. So We have 2 indoor events this winter, and they're at premier facilities that allow us to be able to handle the needs that we need for those players. So don't let the thought of, oh, it's indoor, frighten you out. Come on down, sign up, come on over and get your best numbers. Plus, Austin hit this one on the head yesterday. If I'm trying to get my best numbers, whether it's on the mound or with my bat, and I'm in an indoor versus 30 degrees outside, I might be able to get my best numbers when I'm sitting inside with a controlled temperature in that setting. So we'll be there with bells on and have a good time with those beautiful facilities.
Hey, Coach, and you come to these events, put up some numbers. We talked to enough college coaches here. You get on the radar very quickly. Especially talk to J.J. Edwards. He's constantly checking it. So, hey, here's your chance to get on that radar early.
Yeah, and this is right before the high school season cranks up. So everybody should be in shape. If you're not in shape right before high school season, you got your own problems, right? I mean, they're practicing right now. It is open season right now as we speak. So they are practicing and working out right now. But tryouts are that next week, right after our events end. So if you're not ready to go, then you just ain't ready. But you get out there, the coaches see all of our stuff. They're seeing everything. They get the data, they get the information, they see all the videos, all the great social media stuff you guys are pumping out there for them. And those coaches, they can sit there and follow them and track them. And then when it gets out to March 1st, if these coaches are out and about, they know who to go see right away. There's no like, what do I need to do? Who do I need to do? And if there is any of that, all they got to do is go to that nice little website.
And I know none of you guys were athletic enough to be pitchers, but for all my other pitchers out there, if you've got the option of being outside and it's 36 degrees and you're throwing your bullpen and you got sweatpants on under your baseball pants, you've got a hoodie on, and you're out there trying to fire your best bullets on the mound for the track man, or you can be in an indoor facility with a T-shirt and shorts on, firing your best bullet. If you can't throw your best heater indoors in a T-shirt and shorts, you don't have a best heater. So, I mean, that's just right. I mean, Coach, you go to one of our. I mean, I think it's one of our probably, I guess, behind the future game. What's the biggest Scout Day showcase event the whole company puts on that you never let us go to?
Super 60?
Super 60. Where do they do that at?
Indoors. In Chicago.
And I've never been, but I would say every major league team's probably represented.
Every single one, and all probably their decision makers are there. So right. It's not like it's no knocking these guys. It's not. It's all the cross checkers, the scouting directors. It's all the big wigs that are at that one, and they're sitting in the nice, comfortable indoors while it's 15 degrees outside in Chicago.
Long story. I mean, I'd look forward to every time we go to Charleston, but I just with the weather pattern we've played out the last 2 years of these things, I'm looking forward to that indoor one in Rock Hill as much as I am any event we've had.
Rock Thrill, baby.
I mean, it just we're gonna go up there and any of our loyal listeners too. By the way, I know Sammy probably wants me to shut up now because
Austin is bored them to death. We've lost you viewers.
I'm just flying off at the hip right now. If any of our loyal listeners have a timeshare in Charleston and you want to put us up in your beach house this weekend, 2 weekends away, send Drew a message on.
Why me?
You're the one that posts this. You check the page out.
It's okay.
Just inbox Drew. He'll take care of it. He's our travel director.
No, you're the vacation director.
Yeah, but you're the travel director.
This ain't vacation.
This is work.
Vacation's in Jamaica.
Austin, shut up for a minute. We're at 50 minutes of a live show. High school preview shows are still ongoing. We're up to, I think, around, Coach, I don't remember. It's upwards of 20 now. That breaks a record of previous years. They're going very well. I mean, Sean did one last night, right? So if you've missed all of them, go to the YouTube page. Go ahead and subscribe, right, Coach? So we can get that
Yeah.
to 1,000
Yeah, like-
subscribers, so we can,
What do they always say? Like and subscribe. My kids always say.
like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
And you'll check all those out. They're all on the page. I think we've done about 10 so far. More to come moving forward. Now, we got a special little segment here, right? And you'll see this kind of come out throughout the week. The journey, Coach.
First one's going to come out tomorrow. Yeah, first one's coming out. Well, first one's coming out right now, but we're going to come out tomorrow. The rest of the social media world.
Well, we only have 2 on here, so we'll just start with 2. There's more than 2 coming out, but let's go ahead and flip the first one on here. Carson Bowman. Look, we gotta take the banner off because you can't see it all. Look at here. Well, we gotta take everything off. Damn thing. Carson Bowman, Coach. We had him at top prospects in 2022. Look where he's at now.
Yeah, Coach. I remember he came and he pitched, and he had to sprint off and go to football practice. Right, and was like 84, 86 with a banger, and we're like, this damn kid's good. And he was like a freshman at that point in time. Right. And you're like, God, this guy's good. And it wasn't too hard. Right. And comes to the top prospects, boom, pro case, commits to Wake, comes back to the preseason All-State. And then this past year was All-American game, prep baseball All-American game. And from everything I got from everybody that was there, now he was on the way our All-American game works, right? It's a lot different than a lot of these other companies' All-American games. We do a senior versus junior All-American game. So this year's the 25 versus the 26 class. He was the best pitcher, hands down, out of any arm that was there this past year. So it's kind of neat, right, for us to go back and look at these journeys of guys that have come to some of these events at young age and come back multiple times to different things and to kind of see where they're going from there. So obviously Carson will have a chance to be back at the All-American game again, next year and kind of see where he goes from there. But it's always been a fun one to watch.
You got one more journey here. This is quite the journey. It's a very long journey. We even excluded a scout day, a part of this journey, because there weren't enough damn circles to put on the timeline. But nonetheless, you've got Stowe Rogers, Coach, started with a scout day. He's a 2-time preseason All-State, a future gamer, Super 60. He's committed as well. So that's a lot of events. But like we've said, we've talked to these college coaches, this is important. They check this stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, again, right, it starts with a lot of these players when they're younger. And people, right, in today's day and age versus maybe like before when Bowman committed, right? He committed before the rule change happened. Stowe committed like kind of after this one kind of rule change kind of clicked in. But, these coaches can see these players progressing over the years, right? And you look at a player like Stowe because he committed later, I guess you'll say, than versus what Bowman did. But they can look back and say his freshman year and kind of see where he was at. And he kept getting better and he kept getting better, kept getting better, kept getting better. And those are things. And right now he's got himself where he's going to, on February 2nd, the biggest national showcase out there, right? He's going to the biggest showcase in the nation on February 2nd. And he's one of the top 10 catchers going to be out there in the prospects out there. Now, whether he wants to sign, whether all that stuff's going to take care of it. But if it wasn't for his journey along the way and for us getting a chance to see him, it would have been hard to fight for him to get into those big time national events. And I think sometimes that's what gets lost a little bit in our localized events. We get them, whether it's a scout day, whether it's a Team Carolina trials, right? We've had players that pop up at Team Carolina. Bank Wickersham. Remember when he popped up at a Team Carolina trial? We're like, who the hell is this guy? Taj Marchand. Same thing. We're like, boom. I mean, they show up to the Team Carolina trials or the preseason All-States, and you're like, these kids are good, and they progress and they get them into the national events, and their talents and their ability to play the game take care of it all. So it's really neat for us to see kind of where these players start and progress over the years and how they just keep getting better. And, Coach Burke hit it on the head a little while ago, Lander. It's up to the players to get themselves better. And, they're providing a way of development and playing. We're providing a way for these guys to showcase their abilities and for them to get better and do those things along the way. It's really neat to watch how they do that.
And I mean, just kind of harping on what you said, Coach, is that Stowe came to Team Elite Scout Day, that first one that we really ran and all that. I mean, we didn't know who he was, and we were walking up in there, and he came out and hit a couple of really long shots, and good athletic catcher, ran pretty well, and it just goes to show that it really can be anybody. Like if you sign up for these events and you have the talent, you can go forward from wherever it is. We're just going to give you that exposure that you can get. And so in Stowe's case, that's a prime example of that exactly happening. So props to him and congratulations going to Super 60, big time showcase. Going to show out in front of some big league scouts and stuff like that. And, just we're happy that we could be a part of the journey for him. So.
Coach, you get a circle on that journey for that home run he hit at Lawrence that night.
Didn't you miss that?
No, I got it. It's on the Twitter page. It
went all the
way on the football field. It needs a circle on the journey.
Luckily, it missed that press box over there because it might have knocked that press box down. It might have looked like Penn State's football press box right now falling down.
It'd been an $8 million renovation. Yeah, that home run he hit, it could have its own segment in the journey. It was a journey.
It needed its own circle. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
We want to put that in there for what was that, May of 24?
May 24, yeah.
I mean, he's already missing one circle. Let's just add 2 damn circles. We got to get on the graphics guy. I don't know what he's doing.
We got to get the graphic guy out of his basement in Myrtle Beach, get him going.
You got the wrong graphics guy there.
Oh. Well, we got to get the graphics guy out of his mom's basement in Chester and get them going.
You start talking bad about Chester, that Rocket gang going to come get you.
Boy, yeah, better be careful there.
You got to ride through Richburg not too soon from now. So watch out now.
I'm not going through it. I'm going to go around it.
You go around it, you end up in Kershaw County. That might be worse.
There's a nice QT up that way.
If you got a timeshare and you're willing to give out if it's in Chester, sorry, we're turning it down.
Yeah, we'll be there. Just send me the address, especially if it's Roundtree Circle. Anyway,
by the roses.
Roses. We ain't got no express. Big Lots closed in Chester, Coach. Right beside Roses.
I heard.
I think they all
you
went
don't
down,
hear
didn't
that. Rose is going to expand. They're going to have a Roses Super Center.
I think Big Lots. I think they all went down, didn't they?
Yeah, the one in Seneca went down too. It's a sad time around here.
Big Lots and Ryan's, man. If somebody can get one Big Lots and one Ryan's back going, I'm here for it.
Ryan's is a spot.
It was.
Anyway, the coach, we got the preseason All-State graphic coming out at like high 200s of college commits since 2020. Make sure you're one of those guys that we can add to that list with those upcoming preseason All-States. This is I didn't have this originally planned. New content's upcoming, right? Coach, I suppose no clue what I'm about to say. We're looking at a possible vlog, boys, with some VLOG.
You don't even know.
Don't even do the phonemic awareness of it. Anyway, we have some
we'll keep
glasses that we got some glasses that someone will be wearing. But we have Espo. You may see a day in the life.
Coach broke the readers out.
We're gonna be reading books. Sandy's day to day in Forest Acres.
Things are they ain't getting no younger.
But we got some big plans for the high school season for the podcast. Some new things this year. We
big
can't
things
reveal
coming
those yet.
for these events coming up too.
Yeah.
Yeah, big things coming with these few events coming up.
You don't want to miss out on those. Those details will roll out as we get closer to the events, to the high school season. But big things planned nonetheless. Now, we hold on. Let me type this in so we can put it up. We do get to football here. Bowl records are about to be revealed here. Okay. We'll
Who's
start
got them
at the-
stand-up weenies ready to eat?
They're at the class.
Hurry up.
My
Hurry
kids
up.
have been tearing them up. Austin, I got a text today about one of your former students. They said they've gotten so tall. It's the ones that ate Hardee's all the time. Anyway, Sean is 27 and 18. Okay.
It's a good showing.
Sean is currently.
It was way better
And-
before these last couple of bowl games. It was like I was like 0 for 3 the last 3, pretty sure.
Sean's in third, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Austin is currently 30 and 15. Sammy is 28 and 17, and I'm 26 and 19.
Ooh.
So time out. You've lost everything.
Literally everything we've ever done.
let's-
It's,
go and put-
I'm
Austin,
a
let's
Tiger.
put
It's
this out
been
here.
a
Let's put
it's
this
been a
out here.
rough year. It's been a rough year for the Tigers. It's been a rough year for me, but we're gonna rebound in 2025. It's new year, new me.
But we're still in this. We are in the new year, and you're still losing.
I ain't lost a damn pick in the new year.
That just shows you how far behind you were, though. I was looking at the spreadsheet.
I'm 8-0 in
You-
2025, boys. So
You
And
got
still
eight
bring up the
straight,
title.
You still came in fourth. How far behind were you?
shut up. Anyway, we do
Don't get him
have
mad.
we-
Don't get
we-
him
we-
mad.
He
we-
can't
two
handle
games
it.
to get here too. Hold on.
He's got to get his vlogging glasses.
Here we go. We do have picks, guys. Ohio State. I'm going to go last because I got to catch up. Ohio State takes on Texas. I can get finishing last again. Austin, you go first here.
They're the hottest team in the country right now. I'm going Ohio State.
Sammy,
Ohio State.
Sean,
Buckeyes.
So Drew will be taking Texas.
give me the Buckeyes. Ryan Day still sucks. Anyway,
Yeah.
The only thing that Texas has going for them in that game is they're playing it in the state of Texas.
It's accurate.
That's all they got.
Jerry Gary's going to rig it. I watched Landman the other day, and his old ex was on there.
He sure was.
I'm like, can he just get off? He's doing too
He had
much.
a very motivational piece though on Landman. I thought it was touching.
I skipped his part. I was more worried about the daughter and the mother. Anyway, we got Penn State taking on Notre Dame. Espo.
Oh, I'm going first here. I was about to go Notre Dame, and then I saw a piece today. They were talking about I should bet the money on Penn State. So I'm going Penn State, even though they don't ever win any big games. But I'm going Nittany Lions.
I'm going Notre Dame. I think Penn State's had the literal easiest route you could have to get here. I'm going Notre Dame. I do think Penn State's got a chance though. I think the winner of this game might be playing for second though.
Yeah, it seems that way. With we're sticking on the hottest teams in the country. I would put probably, if you're power ranking those top 4 right now, I go Ohio State 1, and then I'd probably put Notre Dame at number 2. They're just playing real quality football and beat a sorry team last couple of weeks ago, or whatever that was. But they just can't figure out the gun show or whatever. But
He was damn shooting blanks.
he sure was. So I'll roll with Coach Freeman and Notre Dame.
There was a lot of problems in that game. Gunner wasn't at the top of the list.
It was that damn. It was Austin on the sideline running into the ref.
I feel bad. That poor guy. We need to get him on.
I feel bad for him. I really do.
I like how everybody blamed him. How about
it didn't matter.
How about
Didn't
the
matter
guy
at
that
all.
dropped the ball? And he was at
no?
the
It was Austin's fault on the sideline.
No, I'm talking about the other play.
Yeah,
No,
but
I
the
know.
play where
It wasn't
Dylan
that
Bell,
It wasn't that fault.
Dylan Bell
It's only
dropped
one
that
guy.
ball, then they still scored a touchdown like 6 plays later. That
was the thing about because they got 3 out of the one where the kid hit the ref on the sideline. I'm like, even if they didn't call that penalty, I don't know if you're getting 6 there anyway. So
No, because the penalty took them back to the 25, and they went 3 plays, and I think went backwards. Like it has nothing to do with the walk on over here that trucked the referee. Or also, why was the referee running in the back of the bench?
yeah, you got to think about that too. I mean, he wasn't that close to it.
Yeah, have some feel. Like I thought when he first did it, I thought the guy was like standing on the field, but then when they showed the replay, I'm like, he's back there.
He had like a foot in the white, and that was it.
Come on, man.
You know,
it's baseball season.
I gotta pick my game, guys.
You're so far
It don't
behind.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
I'm not gonna finish in last because I got Sean William Notre Dame, so I gotta go Penn State, so I got to tie for last here, so I can go against them in the national championship and pull for Penn State to beat Ohio State. Give me the Nittany Lions. James Franklin still sucks. However, they won the game. Guys, that's all I've got planned here. Are we missing anything? Anything to add?
No Augusta ID comments. Nobody wants to know. Whatever. I mean,
Sean, please take it away.
I mean, look like a couple good guys down there, Sean, sir. I mean,
you're telling me. I mean, Landon Jones obviously out there, big 6'6", 200-pound. Didn't get to throw, which obviously we're all kind of waiting on, coming off the arm injury and all that. But yeah, I mean, hitting some skyrocketed shots. I mean, I'm counting in my head when he's hitting them, and the hang time's like 5-6 seconds on those, and I mean, it's just traveling. And it was a pretty big ballpark out there to left field, and if it's any shorter, I think he probably would have put 3 or 4 out of there. So he was real impressive. We got Jad Benefield from Midland Valley, who I got to see. He was really impressive too. A little lighter with the stick compared to Landon, I would say, but on the mound he was 85 to 87, really good carry on the fastball. I mean, you could see it. I was asking Ian was running the track man. I was like, what's the vert on that? Like it's so up there. Like he's carrying and he's got to miss bats, and had a decent little breaking ball, and got to see a lefty, Turner Sloan, also from Midland Valley, who Velo wasn't there, but he's a real strong physical kid, and he could really command a couple pitches as well. So I'd say, there was only about 6 South Carolina kids, I think, of the 25 or so that were there. But honestly, the whole shout out to PBR Georgia here a little bit. I guess getting some good talent out there in the Augusta area. They really came through, and I was awfully impressed with everything. I was kind of expecting a, kind of middle of the road, kind of talent wise, but no, I was actually pretty impressed with everything. They got a couple of young guys over there, a couple freshmen who was out there throwing it up to 81 with the righty, and could swing a little bit too. And, it was a pretty good trip. So I was glad I got to make it over there to Augusta Christian. We might have to see them a little bit. Skiza baseball over there now.
Yeah, they're always good. They're always there. Mm-hmm. Always compete. And that one's good because that's an area of the state for us that kind of gets not left behind, but gets lost a little bit because, you kind of think that area of the state, most of those kids, right, it's easy for them. What they do, they went to a Georgia thing, right? They play on Georgia travel teams. They kind of just tend to – people go, that's just Georgia, right? It's almost like the Hilton Head area sometimes. People just associate it with Georgia. So it was good to kind of get tagged on with those guys to get us associated. I'm glad, Sean, you were able to run out over there and watch those guys play. So Georgia started pumping out some data and some stories on that, and we'll get some more stuff on those guys. But that is an area of the state for us that's always been talented, but we'd love to get some more of those players over our way a little bit more.
We'd love to get some of those coaches on the high school preview show.
Yeah, they're allowed to sign on. Come on down. All you got to do is
how was your trip to the Cheez-It Bowl?
Well, I didn't get 350 and 150 out of Mars.
I was there too. Me and Sean were there. We didn't see each other.
I didn't know Sammy was there. Sean podcasted on the way there. Sammy didn't.
Mm-hmm.
We had some travel issues going on there, and Sean wasn't traveling with 3 kids in the car also. So
Sean didn't even have to drive. He was just riding over there shotgun.
I drove the first 5.5 hours. I gave her the last couple. So
that wasn't y'all got married in the end zone before the game, was it?
No. That was crazy though. The whole somebody tried out, and it was like a couple different stops of play where we would go back to the couple getting married, and I was like, wow, this is the first. I'm surprised anybody want to sign up to get married at the Cheez-It Bowl, but more power to them.
How about the Cheez-It ring?
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't
Cheez-It on the ring.
I didn't get one.
I turned it over there from the Michigan and who they play Alabama game. I turned it over there, and they were talking about a wedding in the end zone. I was like, Sean broke down and decided he was just going to get hitched while he was in.
Well, yeah, y'all told me you were telling me to do it on the podcast. I got to propose on the podcast, so we'll have to maybe change that to a bowl game or something. But
took their honeymoon on at Bucky's on the way back, and
there we go. I sent you a picture. Yeah.
Sean, I would obviously we don't know your soon to be bride maybe. But I would suggest not proposing on the podcast. That would just be my.
She might find that charming. Who knows? We're a good
Shut
bunch
up,
here.
Coach. I need some subscribers. We'll
Why
give a
don't you
good
get
wedding gift
engaged
if
on
we
the
get
podcast?
enough subscribers.
Yeah, where are
Coach.
you? Maybe you should take yourself down to
Yeah.
Greenwood, down to
Tell-
Lantern.
The Lantern, yeah.
No, oh yeah, damn right. Get the Bearcat Brew. I'm at it too. Sean, just let me know when you're getting engaged, and I'll bring my glasses and I'll vlog it.
All right, sounds good to me. So secretive.
This is what my life has come to. I'm on a podcast with a
Yeah.
grown man talking about vlogging.
Just wait till June and July, Austin.
Here we are.
Austin, this is what this world is.
This is it. This is
This
it.
is the world. This is the world.
I'm gonna video you calling pitches.
I'm not calling pitches.
Just not in 3-0 counts, please.
No.
That's all I ask.
That belt high heater, it don't come back.
Oh, anyway, we're gonna sign off. We're at an hour and 11 minutes, boys.
Damn.
That's what I said. So hey, stay tuned for. We may have a special guest for next episode. Who knows? Episode 106. It'll be upcoming here soon. A lot of content rolling out. The Journey is coming out here this week. We'll have some clips roll out from the podcast, so check those out on all social media platforms. So from all of us here at Prep Baseball South Carolina, we hope you have a great week. Stay safe in the